Hi, Laura.
Hey.
Welcome to the Youth Group Rejects.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
You know, yeah, we're us.
That's true.
Yeah. That bitch. How's your week been?
My week has been, I need some downtime, that's for sure. I feel like I'm
Doing too much?
Yeah, it's exciting though. Like it's good things, and I'm hoping it's just for a period of time because I worked really hard to get my nervous system to a place where go all the time.
The capitalism takes over.
Yes. So now I'm like, okay, I know like it's not quite my hustling energy, but it's like borderline, and I'm like, okay, what's a healthy balance? But I'm also like excited for things that I'm building.
Okay.
That will allow more leisure.
Okay.
So investing. I know that it's good, and I just would really like a life assistant or someone who could like schedule shit for me, you know?
Oh God. A PA would change my life. But I'm not rich like that yet. Yet. Unless, you believe in me out there and you want to just be my PA intern that I pay minimum wage until we both come up together. I'm just saying.
Or a sucra person.
A sucra person? A sugar person?
Yeah.
But like not for sex, just for an assistance.
No, like give you money so then you can spend it how you want to spend it.
Oh, like I can actually have leisure and pay for a personal assistant.
Yeah.
But
or like pay your rent and then you can pay for a PA.
Yeah, but then what do I give them in an exchange?
The company, man. Depends. That's the thing. You gotta find the right thing.
I don't like anyone that much. I don't know if I like myself that much. I'm sorry. How's your week? It's Sunday. So it's my week. I laid low.
Yeah.
You know what? There's something in the woo bitches have been saying, it's eclipse season and we're in retrograde. And I'm just like, I'm pretty sure I'm ovulating. Kill me.
Hey, fellas, you heard.
Yeah, my body's trying to tell me that I want to procreate, and it's a no. Every month it's a no. And so I've been laying low. I've been like,
you're staying out of these streets.
I'm avoiding conflict. I'm avoiding undue labor. I'm avoiding the just invitation into bullshit because I might take you up on it. And also, look. If you're an astrology chick out there, bro out there, whatever. Look, they're just saying to avoid people because people are ready to fight, and I'm like, I'm not here.
That's real.
Yo, and I'm not here for a nigga moment. People forget. Don't let the babyface fool you. Like, shit, raising Vanny in the 90s, okay? And had no money, and my mom beat me, so I had to learn how to defend for myself.
And I fought my brother's fights.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, yo, I used to swing. I don't anymore, but I'm recovered angry human.
But now we swing in a nice way.
All the ways. So I've just been laying low, though. Put some time with the fam this weekend. The nieces are with us this week, so that was nice.
Thanks for those videos.
Oh, you're welcome. My niece knows Laura. My nieces know Laura, and I was hanging out with one of them, and she's like sent a video to Laura saying how she misses her and wants a girls' day where we all hang out.
Yeah.
So we're gonna schedule one. Girls' day. She did a little dance. Oh, the other day, they did this little, they're like, Auntie, want to see something? And they like played some, like, I think it was Rasputin. They know a whole little choreo to it. And I was like, look at y'all. You're still young and innocent. I love that. Please stay the same. Not the same, because I want you to grow and become your own person. But also,
that's a beautiful.
Stay loving life. Stay fun. This energy, keep it. Don't become an adult and boring.
Carefree.
You know?
Yeah.
When's the last time you made a choreo to your favorite song?
Oh, Spice Girls.
But when's the last time you did that? Exactly. We used to do that shit all the time as kids.
Elementary school.
Exactly. We used to do that stuff in junior high. You know what I'm saying? You and your friends doing a little bye. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, why don't we do that more? And we never cared. We sucked. We clearly sucked.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. Yeah, but it was like...
I like Fletcher and I made a choreo. I never told you the story. But, so I was in my early youth group days. And there's a talent show in the youth group. And I was excited. I was prepared for it. And so Fletcher and I created our own choreography to the Backstreet Boys. It's Gotta Be You. You know, bang, bang. It's a deep cut. Those who know, they know. Okay, I'm saying it's a real deep cut. And I was excited. I was telling my friend at school who was also going to the same youth group as me about it. And she goes, you know, you're supposed to have a song about Jesus, right? Like, you're not supposed to bring secular music to church for the talent show. It was the day of the talent show. I was like, holy fuck, who wants to be the only one not bringing a non-Jesus song to the fucking talent show?
Not you.
Not me. So I went home, I was like, yo, nigga, we have to change things up. So the only Jesus thing I knew that was also mainstream is Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey's When You Believe.
Yes, I love that
Oh, we should have talked about it with Rob because he was there.
Oh, next one.
So I knew most the lyrics. And Fletcher and I would sing it together. So we get up in front of everybody, like almost no prep. And he has, like, I think I always sang Whitney and he always sang Mariah. And we get to the bridge and your girl blanked. And I mean blanked. I did not remember any words. And the music is playing and I'm just like,
oh no.
Standing there. I just stood there.
Did you do a little dance bit to distract them?
No, I'm not Ashley. No, not Tinsel. Friggin' what's the one? The other blonde Ashley Simpson. When she was lip syncing on fucking and then picked it back up at the chorus where I remembered things and finished the song. Embarrassing as fuck.
Nice.
So I think it was Rob. I think Pastor was something about like you know,
perseverance.
Yep. But I was like so fucking shocked. Anyway, all that to say is
I'm gonna text Fletch and be like, so can I see this little number?
We have a few songs that we have like parts.
We should do like a family talent show.
I mean, we could.
The kids would love it.
Of course they would. Yeah. Good luck getting some of these guys out of retirement, but you know, have fun with that. Other than that, took a bath. I love taking a bath.
Yeah.
I had epiphany in the bath, which is great.
Love that.
Smoked some weed. Bath. I would say I got sick in February, so while I was sick, I started watching Grey's Anatomy. I never watched it. Why am I crying about these basic ass white people?
Because there's stuff in your body that needs out.
I was in bed last night like, oh, this is kind of, wow, there's hope and love. And I have friends who've seen it and I was like, yo guys, this is so like kind of beautiful. And like, this is the end of season 4 finale. And I was like, oh, this is so great. And literally the auto play goes into the next episode and I'm like, no, not fair. Can't they be happy for 1 second?
No.
I was like so fucking angry. Cause I'm like, you're not gonna kill this man. She just got over her fear of attachment, okay? She just got over her fear of love. Like, let her have some joy. Maybe I'm talking about myself too.
Yeah, I was like, is there some maybe over relation?
Anyway, so that was the moment this week. What else? Oh, I had multiple epiphanies. I don't know if they're epiphanies. I'm just having aha moments on drugs, clearly.
Yeah, it's helpful.
The first one was that, and I told you this already, I think, that I was like, oh, maybe I don't like men.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe, because I'm processing this, because there's probably 1, maybe 2 guys I've ever hollered at that like I felt sad when like that didn't work out. But everyone else, the second I told them I liked them and they were like, hey, nah, I don't see that way, I was not sad about it at all. Like I was like, okay, cool, see you later. And like people like, and my roommates would be like, oh, are you okay? I'm like, I'm totally fine. Turns out that was more about me than it was about him. I just needed it out of my system. It made me anxious. I was holding a secret and now it's gone. And now I'm like, And I was like, maybe I just never liked these men.
Maybe.
And I thought maybe I just never liked men. But I'm like, I did like, there was one that I probably, you know, there's some L word around there that, oh, look, I was young and stupid.
Young,
21 is stupid. Yeah. Well, and repressed. But then yesterday I was like, or is that too simplistic? Can there be like 2 levels? Like I've discovered that I probably need, the reason why I'm not interested in most men, because I don't have the emotional safety to allow myself to be attracted to men, because y'all are dangerous mentally, emotionally, and physically. No offense. But also take it. I don't
not
fucking
fully
care.
Wrong. Yeah.
well, if you want a list of the men to prove it, I got you. Okay,
Heal so we can all be safe.
And I said mostly mentally and physically because. And I'm like, it takes me like I need safety to even allow myself to feel attraction. And then I probably was also allowing myself to like men that I was just not interested in because it was safer. So maybe I'm not into men. I'm just need to be, I need safety to figure that out. And then also, I need to not shut my heart off.
That's the kicker, ain't it? It's the friggin' kicker, bud.
No, we're trying. I'm purposely to be more open in this season, and I think I am. I think I'm like seeing like I was like again lying high in bed last night, and I'm catching moments. I'm like, oh, there's sparks of hope. Yeah. I'm like, I think I'm allowing myself like, oh, that might be fun. Just allowing.
That's good. It's like titrating. It's like
yeah. And then because I'm not here for to raw dog fucking life.
Yeah, you're not a man.
No. Yeah. My young self experienced heartbreak and probably was like, I don't want to feel this anymore. And shut that down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know my mind's going into many ways because like maybe when you tell them, then you're like not doing that again, and then you just don't go there. But there's so many possibilities.
Well, no, I honestly don't think I was that into those guys. I'm like, my friend dated one of them like a month later, and she's like, I feel so bad. I know you had a crush on him. I'm like, oh, you're totally fine.
You're about compersion as well.
I'm like, I'm not jealous at all. I'm like, I'm more about you than about us.
Yeah.
Which makes people think I'm not interested in them.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you're happy? That's really great. I'm fine. Which is...
We're all good.
Huh?
Trusting the process.
We're out here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my week.
Yeah. I also did shrooms for the first time.
You did! It's right! I got you to do shrooms. That was a nice high.
Honestly, I'm like, finally, I fucking did it. Okay, I did it.
And?
It was a lot.
Well,
it was, there was a lot going on. Yeah.
If your sister did not have a bad trip, it would have been a better trip. But that being said,
it was cool to like, if it was chill and peaceful and calm, I think if I was alone, it would have been fine. There was just too many factors. And being outside too. But maybe I think that's part of it because you want to be part of nature too.
No, I honestly think if your sister was having a good trip, you would have been better. Your sister was just like throwing up and uncomfortable.
Right,
so
like, we're putting your shit out there.
Oh, I didn't name her name, but yeah.
Oops.
Well.
That sister.
Well, whatever's. But I feel like if she had not like, she had told me that she hadn't eaten that day.
You know what I'm saying? Like, now we can do better. We can do better.
But I feel like for your first trip,
it was good. I was able to manage too, and I noticed noticed things that I was like, oh, interesting, and I could like sit with more discomfort than usual and not just go into auto response of like managing dynamics, which was cool. It was also insightful.
Like,
and watching things move, that was cool.
Yeah, the water was really nice, like really choppy.
Yeah.
Honestly, when we were in the zone, like, we had a good time.
Yeah.
Also, how we not gone to a restaurant on a holiday Monday that was closed would have helped.
Well, no, they were open, but it was they were
private
closed. No, they were closed due to unforeseen circumstances out of their control.
Sure. That's what I would say if I didn't want you to bother me.
Like, was there a pipe explosion? I don't know.
Oh, shooting. I don't know why I said that. That's dark.
Because eclipse and violets.
Look, man. Also, I hope because I know this is gonna go out after the eclipse. Motherfuckers, stay home. They need to stay home. They're gonna folks are gonna drive to fucking Cornwall because there's a better view there, and they're gonna be running late. They're gonna look out the window and they're gonna friggin' burn their corneas. Stay home. Like, sit down somewhere. Also, don't look outside. Like,
so creepy.
Yeah, I'm not even playing with that. Sorry.
I know, like even the glasses, I'm like, nah, I'm not risking it. What if I get the wrong ones?
Look, I'm gonna wait for the stats. Like, how many people? Because I think there's like 2 million people within like distance or driving distance of this eclipse. I'm like,
God bless the nurses and the people working, the frontline workers, mental health workers, all of you. God bless.
Not including this crazy shit. I'm like, I'm good. Yeah.
I know. And the driving too is wild. I think post-pandemic, like our brains, it's going to be interesting to hear all the studies, but like I'm noticing while driving, people are just not present. Like there's a lot more
glossy eyes
and just running reds like crazy. Like I almost got hit 4 times this week walking when it was like a walking signal and it was fine. But then people, yeah, it's wild. And then just aggression. But again, like you said, I was like, oh, maybe there's something to
with trauma.
Yeah.
Because white folks don't realize the epigenetics is for you too.
All humans.
I'm sorry, colonizers, your bloodline is full of trauma.
Yeah. And then you add the panini.
Well, fuck the panini. The boat ride here.
Yes, but I'm saying like driving now.
Oh yeah, well that shit triggered all that shit that was lying dormant. You've never been told no in your life, and all of a sudden it's like, Karen's gone wild. I'm like, is it Karen's gone wild or undealt with trauma? White people, that's what you're saying.
Well, yeah. Why are people so angry?
Go process your generational bullshit.
Yeah.
Yo, I can't imagine what Australian fucking trauma's like. They're all descendants of fucking prisoners and violent criminals and shit. I'm just saying. The collective healing that a place like that would need is wild.
Yeah. That's the thing. We need that.
Oh yeah.
We need that. And even given my descendants, or I'm the descendant, but the rage this week, so uncomfortable. Woo. And I'm like, what is this? It's so intense. So intense. And I'm just like,
that's why I
regulation. How can you be compassionate towards yourself? Oh.
Yeah. Take a breath. And that's why I'm picky about my white folks.
Yeah. That's wise.
Oh, I know. People are like, what? I'm like, oh, no,
wisdom from the ancestors.
My white people are vetted. I'm sorry. Jeez.
Yeah. And we probably have the most access to therapy, so we should be on it.
Yo, what was the fucking clip I saw the other day? This girl's like, it's a red flag if you're a white man and you're poor. What were you doing? What were your ancestors doing while your ancestors were stealing, or something like that? I'm like, I'll send you the link. She said it better than me.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh, that's funny.
I know. I want to talk this week with you about it would be cool to talk about our deconversion, for lack, or you could call it deconstruction. I have a hard time with the word deconstruction because I just feel like it's very white. Like I feel like people of color were decolonizing for a long time before deconstruction became cool. And then that took over the fucking discourse because,
that's how it
goes.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, you deconstruction. I'm like, no, I was actively decolonizing my faith for a while. And it just happens that like it intersected with the deconstruction movement or whatever. Call it what you want. But I'm like, Anyway, yeah. And I was like, I think maybe interesting to talk about. Like, how did you know? Do you like remember?
There wasn't a moment. It was kind of gradual. Like even in elementary.
Oh, you were never in it?
Oh wait, what's the question?
Like you say, I'm asking you like how you knew you didn't believe anymore, but you're referring to elementary school, and so because I didn't know you back then. So, are you saying that you were never fully in the game? Did you never fully believe?
I did. Oh, I drank the Kool-Aid so hard. The Christ Kool-Aid was in my veins. Yeah.
Okay.
And but I was also like, actually, no, that is Jesus. Sorry, I'm processing this because I'm never really like, when was the moment?
Yeah.
In high school, I was such a Bible thumper. It's so embarrassing. And I was always like a floater though. So like I was connected to, I didn't have like a, I was friends with the popular kids. I was friends with the goths. I was friends with the loners, all these weird labels. So I was like a floater. So then that opened my eyes to like the different ways of life and what life is really like. And it didn't add up to what was in the walls of the church or like.
Okay. This was high school.
Yeah. So, but I still, it took me a while to reconcile like, as I felt like connected to Jesus.
Okay.
Which was
I
different.
have a relationship, not a religion.
Yeah. I used to say all the time. God.
Gag.
And
Okay, keep
and
on.
then the shame and the guilt that you could like, it was like tangible in youth group. And I could see the harm that was being done. And I was like,
But you still believed it and embodied it.
Yeah. I mean, even today, I still somewhat do.
Okay. So, like, you're in high school.
Yeah.
You have homies all over the place. You're going to youth group. You're going to Sunday service.
I'm going to all the services. Yeah. Sometimes double down on Sundays.
You're singing to the Lord.
Yeah.
You're praying. You're doing the devotionals.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're journaling for Jesus.
Yeah, journaling.
Yeah. You're doing your Bible memory verses.
Yeah.
But you're also, like, what are you noticing about the shame and the guilt? Like, you didn't have the language. So, this is before therapy culture was in. So, what did you like?
I started therapy at 23, which probably really helped too.
Yeah.
But even mentoring youth in church and being part of the worship team, I stepped down from the worship team because I started drinking and I didn't want to be a hypocrite. But also, I would have side convos with the youth, like real talk about, guys pressuring girls to give them blowjobs on a bus or like real shit where I'm like, this can't be it. This can't be like, we are causing more harm. We're not holding people or supporting people or giving resources the way we say we are supposed to. And then I was like,
But did you feel like that was like your church thing, that other churches could do it better? Or like it was like religion and not Jesus? Or like
religion. Yeah, like the church in general, not just my church. Yeah. But I would say like probably 2013, 2014 is when I was like, yeah, I'm out. But I stayed a while because I needed to belong and I didn't have friends outside. Like everyone was a Christian friend.
So I met you around that era.
Yeah. That was like as I was like releasing.
So 2013, 2014, you're like, I'm done. This makes no sense. I'm outie.
Yeah.
So what do you even remember? Was it a trigger or a final straw?
I think it was just my body was like, I can't do this anymore. Like when I go into the buildings, and when I would in my Christian circles, I was always like the wild friend or whatever, which I learned with thanks to Rita was like a thing. But I would always be the one challenging or always be, oh, that's Laura. And then always feel like the outcast or shamed for it or like othered or whatever. So I was like, I can't keep, it felt like continual rejection or continual shame. And I was like, I can't. And my body was like, you need out, get out.
So you like rejected it, but stayed in church.
Yeah. I stayed in the circles and I kept the Christian friendships. And even with people who understood, I don't go to church, but I still believe. I think they still thought I might come back to Christ or whatever, Yeah. And then and people saying things. I'm saying I don't want to get married or have kids. Like I'm open to that changing, but I don't have those desires.
Sure.
And people are like, I want you to marry a good Christian man and have kids. You'd be such a good mom, and And I'm like, I feel that you don't support my journey or things that I want in my life and my autonomy.
Mm-hmm.
They'd be like, yes, but Jesus has so much more liberation for you. And I'm like, this is fucked. I can't be in friendships when you have an ulterior motive or you think everything I'm doing is wrong and I need to be like this.
Yeah.
So then I just had to shed. That's why I got this.
Sorry. Just made me think of the guy on Instagram who's like, oh, I know what kind of person you are based on that tattoo.
Badass bitch. That's who.
When you like shed and stuck around for like, I get it because it's your entire circle of like community and friends and family and whatever are all in this place, and now you're like, fuck, I don't believe anymore.
Yeah. It's actually harming me.
It's harming me, but also this is where my community is.
Yeah.
Did you reject like the entire faith, or like I don't want to go to church anymore, but Jesus and I still worship Jesus, but I'm like a Christ follower in my heart. I don't need to go to church to follow Christ. Or were you like, fuck it all?
I was like, I think Jesus may be an ancestor, or I just don't know. I don't claim to know. And I'm
Now.
like, I think that it's then too.
Okay.
I think it's dangerous to claim that we know without a doubt. Because I think life is way more nuanced, and we're going off what we know when there's people with all sorts of different perspectives. If we were born somewhere else, or, you know, how can we actually know?
You don't.
We can't.
Now faith is the evidence of things unseen and the substance of things hoped for. It's faith for a reason.
Yeah.
I don't mind if you have faith. Have it.
Yeah.
But understand that it's a faith. There's no math to that.
Yeah.
No
And to say
science to that.
I'm right, you're wrong, because that creates division. And what would Jesus actually want? Unity, love, community, healing.
You know, you're the four.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know if Jesus was like an ancestor, or like, who knows?
A cool dude, did some cool shit.
Yeah.
Probably
Revolutionary.
pissed some people off along the way.
Yeah.
You know?
A martyr. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know? But I'm just like, let's all just be connected to all of us.
That was mad deep. Let's just be connected to all of us. Lord Wilcox.
I'm gonna make a sweatshirt out of that.
Yes. A little ... All of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get to that level, you know?
I'm trying. I'm following you there.
Good luck. But yeah, that's just, I was like, there's no way. I mean, we just can't know. And I'm too curious. I'm too curious to be like, this is it. I'm like, well, okay, we say this is it, but what about this? Or like, oh, then you get here, you're like, okay, well, what about this? And like, it's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
Not when you're shamed for it all the time, but
there's mystery in life again.
Yes. And I think that's a beautiful thing,
Yeah.
because that is life, and you get to discover and be curious. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but we're taught there is. Anyways, do you have a moment?
Yeah. Hold on. I think there's two key moments in me in my way out. 2015. I went to Urbana. So I was on staff with Move In. And I ran the social media. And we were in Urbana for the one where Michelle Higgins and them. So like it's a big conference, InterVarsity Fellowship used to have, I guess has every 3 years in St. Louis. And so like thousands and thousands of college students get together to get sent to the fucking mission field. Big deal. It's huge. It's massive. Like 60,000, like kind of, it's a
Wow.
something big. Like it's a stupid amount of humans. And I was live tweeting the event for because we had people there and at another conference in Europe. We were doing like 3 conferences at once. And so a bunch of us were in the States. Some people were in Toronto, some people were in Europe all at once. And I was like live tweeting for whatever's. And there was like a separate conversation happening online. And the one, they're talking about like Black Lives Matter. Michelle Higgins like threw it down, talking about like Tamir Rice, and it was a big deal. And people on Twitter were like, "Yes, so glad that InterVarsity is having these conversations, but really, there's queer issues. There's still an issue." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" At this point, like a lot of my friends were queer that I had met in church and that had come out to me secretly in church. Some of them had left church since then. Some of my youth group kid, like Dorita, whatever, was my roommate at the time. But like, I was still very much like, God's best is this, but we live in a broken, sinful world. I had found a theology that felt like it I left room for hope and love and for inclusion, but it's still like it was not like a celebration of difference. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And this guy tweeted about how they were at the conference too, and that they saw this as an issue as well. And I was like, slid into their DMs and was like, "Hey, I saw your tweet. Can we talk?" So
Amazing.
we met up in the main like center with all the booths for all the missions orgs and the schools and whatever. I was gonna go to seminary, man. I literally got a free like class from like the seminary in BC. I was like getting ready. I know.
The Lord spared you.
Oh man. And we had a really great chat and told me about his family and how his mom came out as a lesbian at some point in his career, and he was a leader on campus, and that they shunned him for not shunning his mom, which is wild. He still had a very like evangelical theological like approach, just would not reject his mom outright, which is like who's
That's
gonna do
the
that?
thing too.
It's fucking wild, right? Like I'm like, because I'm not treating my mom like shit, I'm not a good enough Christian for you. Like,
Yeah, seeing the harm done to people, that was a big.
when I had seen it, like one of my best friends had come out. We met in campus ministry, and like one of the closest friends I had all through my 20s, and like I'd seen him like be there for me in the whatevers. And when he came out, it was the most honest he had ever been, and it was freeing for him. And I wanted that for him, and I was happy for him. And people are like, "You should talk to so and so." I'm like, "Fuck yes, I talk to so and so." Do you give up your family? Like where I'm from, that's not how family works. Where I'm from, like family, like my bro and I can have the biggest whatever, but at the end of the day, that's my homie, that's my brother. If you need something, even if I'm mad, I got you. Like that's fucking. And so to me, when you tell me about the family of Christ, I'm like, you're a spiritual family. You should be better than my earthly one.
Right. But you're also abusive, so.
No, but like, look, you should be better than the humans who were fucking not filled in the spirit that you talk about, who whatever. And so I'm like, if my biological family can be full of brokenness, but also be like, at the end of push and shove, I got you.
Yeah.
And then I say the one thing you don't agree with, and then all of a sudden it's like, ugh, you can't talk to so and so anymore. I'm like, weren't you praying with him last week? Like I just never understood that.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so this is a guy that you spent the last 5 years. Y'all were roommates. Y'all prayed together. Y'all laughed together. Y'all ate together. And because like he was always gay, you just didn't fucking know. He led you in worship, and y'all were fine with it. And now because he's actually honest, oh well, Rose-Ingrid. Well, 1 John 1, whatever says, if they were for us, then they'd be with us. I'm like, oh, great. So you can pick or choose a fucking one verse out of fucking... Does that chapter not also say that the creos of the spirit is permanent? So which one is it?
Because I'm confused.
No, I'm not. I'm just thinking... I'm also, if you wanted to come back to this kingdom, you think like isolating someone is a way to do it? It was wild to me. Anyway, so I had a chat with this guy. I'm sitting processing it, and like my feelings had already shifted, but like my brain, I wanted to believe the right thing. Anywho, so I'm like on Twitter. I follow this guy. I started following everyone he followed. I started reading. Oh yeah, and I knew I not to like the wrong things because people were watching me, and I was fundraising my salary, and I needed Christians to like me enough to feed me. So if I had the wrong beliefs, I have friends who were like on the field, and people stopped supporting them.
So much fear. Because
they said the wrong thing politically out loud. And I'm like, so you'd rather me be hungry and not do the work you paid me to do, like to help people, because I don't agree with you on everything. Wild. Even as we're still all still Christians, it's still wild. And then like I was interested in people like Broderick Greer and Kevin Garcia, and just like, I think that's when I started really being aware of Sarah Bessie, folks who were just, in their journeys. And I didn't realize queer Christians existed.
Yeah.
That queer ministers existed.
Yeah.
And I was just reading and watching like sermons and reading blogs. Blogs were big back then. And I was just taking it all in. And I was just like, ah! The literature just had to come out around there too.
So good.
I mean,
the one on shame.
Yeah, that was old school. I mean, that was back when they were like, at the time, what I needed. I will say.
There we go.
I have feelings. I just feel like I have no business talking about people that I don't know. So, yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. By the time like I was producing content that related to where I was at, I had a little bit of a what's it called? Who else was creating content at that time?
Bell? Rob
Webb.
Bell? Oh.
Webb. Oh, Rob Bell. Rob Bell was cool when I was in high school. Rob Bell was like I mean, I remember the videos when I was in like first year university. No, Derek Webb.
Oh, I know.
He was in Cademan's Call, I think it's called, the band.
Oh,
But
okay.
he was also like, anyway, in that era, the 2015, 16, 17, 18-ish, there's a lot of stuff. And I just like at the time was like a bridge to what I needed at the time, because no one was really talking about it in my world.
Yeah.
Now there's a podcast for everything. Everyone, it's super mainstream, but there was just no content back then. And I came back home and I was like watching and reading and quietly like fucking fuming and becoming more vocal about like what I saw was a justice issue around queerness and faith. I'm like, you're kicking kids out in the street, and that makes no sense to me. If we are here for the least of these, then I'm like, trans women of color are the least among us. I'm like, they're being murdered. That should be an issue. Why should we not be on the front line supporting them? On top of that, Black people were getting shot in the street, and I was watching Canadian Christians say nothing. And realizing that like there was no room for me and my Blackness at church. And like, you loved my Blackness when I sang for you. And when I preach, not at that church because I wasn't allowed to preach because I was a woman. Vagina, no, you can't preach.
You can't be a vagina owner.
But we'll support you financially for you to go preach everywhere else.
That's so weird, right?
And so like I got tired of being angry. I got tired of like seeing people who look at me get murdered and just not finding comfort at church. Also, I was in this ministry where like we lived in hoods and slums and shit. And the more like I felt at home in my neighborhood, the more I saw how exploitive we were. And the more I was at mapping, and I'm like, this is colonial. Like, this is fucked up. We're displacing poor people. We're gentrifying neighborhoods in the name of Jesus because you just think you deserve to be here. Fuck off. Like, there's a lot of tension was just building in me. And then like people were like, oh, I wonder if you really have a biblical view of marriage. I'm like, when have I said publicly anything other than what you think is biblical? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you're just assuming. Rightly, they were, but but like, either come out right and say what you mean or leave me the F alone. And I had a friend at the time who was a seminarian, and he's doing his PhD in theology, and I was like, look, I need to know. You read the Hebrew, you read the Greek, you studied, you have a master's and a PhD in this shit. What does the Bible say about homosexuality? And he's like, the Bible's pretty neutral. Pick a side. He's like, you can argue both. Anyone who tells you otherwise is lying. And he's like, anyways, probably like, and he's a little bit cheeky. He'd be like, if there was ever a time to choose to pick the other side, now's a good time. It's kind of popular right now.
It's a little more safe to choose the other side.
Like, I think he would still. It's funny because he all his friends were gay. We had a group chat and everyone was queer but him.
Good.
And he would argue that he's still a traditionalist, but I'm like, all your close friends are like,
that's so
and
funny.
like we all. Anyway, I'm like, how are you? Because he was like, he also still believed in hell. I didn't believe in hell.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
that was a moment for me too. As my friend came out and I was like, I don't think God hates you for it. I don't think you're gonna go to hell. And then, it's scary, right?
Yeah, I don't know when I stopped. I stopped believing in hell long before then. I don't know if I've ever fully believed in hell.
Yeah.
Like actual embodied hell. I was like, I knew like I wanted people to get saved, but I don't know if I actually believe like people are gonna go. I don't know because I wasn't behaving like I did.
Right. If we actually,
like I knew that the gospel mattered, and I wanted people to be like spiritually reconciled to God. But I don't know if I ever, because I didn't grow up in like a home that taught that, right? I have friends who like have nightmares about hell and about the rapture, about the end times. Like they have like actual trauma around that. Because as kids, their parents still have that shit. I didn't have any of that.
Heaven's Gates, House Flames.
By the time I hit university, I was reading a lot of theology from a lot of places, and Rob Bell again was popping up around that too, and whatever. And I was like, I already knew that atonement, like there's a lot of ways of approaching atonement outside of the heaven and hell thing. And I'm like, oh no, I think I like an atonement theory that looks more about healing. And like we're sick and we need a healer rather than you need a fucking a savior from burning in hell. Like that, like I have like a spiritual like cut that I need sewed up. Like that feels much more wholesome. You know what I'm saying?
Fear-based? No thanks.
Yeah, I just also just didn't mesh with God how I knew him.
Yeah.
And how I experienced him. And I was like, nah.
That's a good point. Yeah.
But all of that was happening, and I was in therapy in 2016. And she's a Christian therapist. Shout out to Virgia. What I needed at the time. And she was like, why are you in ministry? And Jesus is not a good enough an answer. And I was like,
that's the textbook answer, though. It's always the answer.
Oh, yeah. And then I quit my job because I realized I was not dealing with my personal shit. So in 2016, I organized. I went on tour for the first time. I organized a vigil for Alton Stilling and Philanthro Castile. We marched and prayed and worshipped, and I got hate mail for 3 months.
Oof.
Black Lives Matter is not of God, blah, blah, blah. I was harassed by this man for 3 months in my DMs.
Oh, yeah.
While Trump was being elected, while I was fucking caravanning down the US. It was a time. I gave up my job. I gave up my home and my community. And I moved into my friend's basement. And I came back from tour, burnt out.
Yeah.
I had seen a lot too. Like I love America in a lot of ways. And it's just like fucking, it was just a lot. We almost saw people die and shit. So I'll tell you that story one day. Yeah. If I haven't already. And I wrote a blog post one night. And I used to blog all the time. And then it went like Ottawa viral for the time. And
yeah, because you're Ottawa famous.
Yeah, my pastor got emails and calls complaining about me. I wrote a blog post called Dear White Church, my breakup letter with the faith of my youth. If you read it, it's out there. It's still very clearly Christian. I was clearly still a Christian. I was just like, hey, we're mean to gay people. It makes no sense. And we're sexist. And we're racist. We should probably stop that. And everyone got mad. And then started rumors about me. And talk shit behind my back. And thought I wouldn't hear about it.
Yeah.
Don't talk shit if you talk to people who talk to me, because I know.
That was before you and I were friends. And I remember hearing like, this person knows. And they're onto it. And I'm like, and just hearing like the way they talk, I'm like, guys, this doesn't even make any fucking sense.
Oh yeah.
Listen to what you're saying.
People are like, Rose-Ingrid hates white people. I'm like, oh right. Totally. I hate you so much. I spent the last.
And if you did, rightfully so.
But also like, fuck you. Like you all have university degrees. You're very smart. Get some reading comprehension. Get out of here.
It stunts your growth.
I went to a wedding and I emceed. Like I was one of the like people who spoke at the wedding, and people hadn't seen me in 3 months and were talking about me at their tables, but not to me about it.
Gross.
I'm like, whatever. Anyway, I took a break from church because my therapist said it was a good idea, and she was right.
We love good therapists.
I walked. Yeah, well, shout out to her. I'd go back to her if she wasn't Christian.
I think Michael Hart's a good Christian therapist too. FYI, in case anyone's listening. But
and then I walked into church like 2 months later for like 15 minutes on my way to work. And someone later told me that someone asked her where I went, and I went to work. Like, oh, is she because she's angry? And I was like, that's the last time I'll ever walk through the doors of this church. I was like, some of these people I've known for a decade, like 4 years worshiping and praying with you, breaking bread, and you just assumed the worst of me when push came to shove.
That's a betrayal.
Fuck right off. I was still a Christian, but I was like, fuck off.
Betrayal.
There was a lot of betrayal in that era. I moved to Toronto in that summer.
Did you move to Toronto as a bitter woman?
No, I just moved to Toronto because I felt watched.
This is what I was going to talk about. Being watched. That's a thing.
Ottawa felt too small.
Yeah.
I just needed to not be around. I just needed to not be able to bump into people, whatever's. Went back to school. Worked too much. Drank too much wine. Cried a lot. Got some hate mail. Got told I was going to hell and I was disgusting and whatever. Oh, I have 6 pages. I'll read it to you one day.
God.
Yeah. Oh, have I housed you? Have I fed you? Have we prayed together? Yeah. Have I talked to you in 9 months? No.
Excuse me while I take more communion because this is really painful.
Oh, yeah. Like I cried. I was on my way to a job that was super abusive and I read this thing and I just wept and I was like, I can't fucking go deal with the sexism at work and this bullshit. I just want to try to fucking live my life.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, the silence was louder than anything else. And even then, I was still fully a Christian. I just didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Fast forward like several months, was like that fall. I had I did my first play, and school was on strike, and I was like sitting in my room for a week, just like burnt out and not know what to do next. Eating too much Popeyes. You know what's bad when you're ordering the pie from Popeyes?
That's like ordering cinnamon with Wendy's.
Yeah. Yeah. And I didn't smoke weed back then too. I was just like, I was a raw dog in life, let me tell you. And I was like, I have to leave my room. So I go to the shower. And you play some music in the shower. And even like in that year since I had left attending church, I was still bumping some gospel music because
Oh, always. Yes.
Take me to the King. Okay,
it's different.
Some Israel Houghton. And so I've been listening to Mary since I was 12 years old. And Can't Give Up Now was my jam.
Oh, okay? Yeah.
Push come to shove.
Yeah.
Life might seem chaotic, but I can be like, nobody told me the road would be easy, and I don't believe he's brought me this far to leave me. Ooh, said I can't give up now. Okay? That'll always get you through. I'm putting the shit, I put it on Spotify. I'm in the shower. There will be mountains, that I will have
the climb.
Yeah, whatever. Victory or defeat, it's up to me to. I'm singing along. Not even thinking about it, but how can I expect to win if I never try? I just can't give up now. I'm like, all right, we're stirring it up. Got too far from where I started. Gotta get the spirit stirred up in you. Have some hope,
Yep.
Nobody told me the road would be easy, and I can't finish the words.
Shit.
I'm in the shower and the chorus continues, and I can't bring my words to say, I don't believe he brought me this far to meet me.
Ooh.
And it's like my life flashed before my eyes, and my brain and subconscious was doing all the math.
Wow.
I knew in that moment, I was like, I don't believe in an active God anymore. And like, I'd done the math. I'm like, oh, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
My entire life is revolved around this.
Yeah.
All my friendships, all my relationships, like I've alienated my family over this. Like, I don't know who I am outside of this belief system. And if God's not out here fucking doing shit for me, what the fuck am I doing? Am I raw dogging life?
Yeah.
It was like, it took me 45 minutes to get out of that bathroom. I couldn't get dressed. I was like, done.
Yeah, everything you thought was secure is gone. Your security's gone.
Tell your best friend that, who you met at a Christian conference where she was 3 rows before you, in front of you, in the worship, and you had like a harmonizing moment where you harmonize with each other. And I go find that girl. That's how we met. We were accountability partners. Okay, our friendship was on its way to ending, but like, oh, how's it going? Oh, I just don't think I believe in an active God anymore. And I know what she's thinking on the other side of the phone because I know what I would be thinking. And everyone's out here being a good friend, but also scared I'm going to go to hell and no one wants to say it. It just made like relationships so hard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it's always this elephant in the room.
Oh, yeah.
It's awkward.
And like, people that I used to be like very open and very close with, we'd have conversations and it'd be like,
it's just not the same.
I'm like, well, you don't want to be honest. Just say it.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you left. I don't understand why you stopped believing. I had a friend, we don't talk anymore, it's fine, who's like, you prophesied over me and I truly believe that was done. I'm like, okay, cool.
That shit's cool though. I'm still about it.
And at the time, I didn't have the tools to be like, okay, Jesus is not the only person. Like, I don't think Christians have a monopoly on seeing and hearing. Because at the time, I just needed away from all of it.
Yeah.
And I needed, because it was just really painful. And I needed time to come around and be like, okay, I'm not an atheist. I wish I was. They seem to have easier lives. I want to be an atheist, but I'm not. I'm not. And so if I'm not an atheist, what do I believe? I'm not a Christian. I'm not a deist in the sense that I don't believe that one deity reigns over all. I'm not a supremacist when it comes to faith. I don't fucking believe in that. How am I supposed to know? And thankfully, along the way, I met some other folks who had, like, my friend Kyle and Hugh, who I did like Dream Girls with. Like, they came out of that world too. And so we would bond over some of the shit where I'm like, okay, Jesus and me are fine.
Yeah.
You know, like, okay, I need to relook at voodoo and like my heritage and through a lens that does not involve white supremacy and Christian supremacy, and decide for myself which parts of those are for me. I'm thankful for places like Mystic Soul Project and their conference, where I can meet other folks who are also like rebuilding, and be like, okay, yeah, altar work feels good to me. I had one of the most beautiful spiritual experiences in a Buddhist ceremony, and 6 months before that, I never would have allowed myself to be in a space like that.
Yeah. Where was that?
In Chicago at Mystic Soul Conference.
Okay.
They're defunct now, but at the time, like, there was nowhere in Canada to get spaces like that.
Yeah.
That were curated by people of color and centered folks of color. And a lot of us diaspora are just rebuilding with what we have, right? And that was really important to the journey. And I'm like, you know, and started to slowly, like, I was a little scared and nervous. Like, okay, this feels life-giving, and this feels, and just like being like, oh, I thought I was like, get told, oh, you don't believe in God anymore, you're sinning, so you can't hear from God. But then I would go to the bar and meet a stranger, and then I would tell them, I would read their fucking mail, and they would cry in my arms. I'm like, back in the day, I would call this prophecy. What do I call this?
Yeah.
I just realized that, like, Christians don't have a monopoly on good theology. Christians don't have a monopoly on hearing from the divine. They don't have a monopoly on the worship of the divine. I have friends who are Christians, and I respect them. And they, you know, have a faith life, and that's great. Yeah. And I have friends who are Muslim, and I respect them, and they have a faith life, and that's great. Yeah. And I have friends who are Buddhists, and I have friends who are agnostic, and I have friends who are atheists, and that's great. Don't be a dick about it. Yeah. And I recognize it's stuff bigger than me that I don't understand, and I can't explain. I saw it in my Pentecostal years that I can't explain. Same. And I'm okay with that. Yeah. And if I die tomorrow, if I die right now, and the pearly gates are there, up St. Peter, and Jesus is actually at the right hand of the Father, you know what I'm saying? Stop Jesus.
What if he was on the left?
I mean, then the Bible's wrong. Right? And if God himself is there, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, as they tell us is, and he goes, what'd you do with my son? I'd be like, you already know, motherfucker. You watched my life. Hell, you knew it before I was even born. And if they go, well, you didn't pray the prayer that wasn't in the book.
We've all prayed that a billion times.
The thing is, you didn't read. That's the thing. I've prayed it. If the God of the freaking universe looks at me and says, you didn't re-pray the prayer that was never in the book they gave you about me, so you have to go to hell, send me to hell. Truly, because you're as petty as we are. Are you not bigger than me?
77 times 7, bro.
No. Are you not if there's a God and he is real and the Christians are right about him, okay. Are his shoulders not big enough for my doubt? Are his shoulders not big enough for my heartache? I'm sorry. Fuck off. Truly. I still live by very Christian. I recognize that I am who I am because I was a Christian.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just out here not sure. And I don't need to be sure. Yeah. And also, I know how my people became Christians. And nope.
Yeah, that's...
No one from my people group got Christianity by choice. Okay? Yeah. Colonizers came and took us off the fucking continent, put us on boats, put us on the island, and then missionaries came and absolutely not. You will not see me share names with that. Fuck off. Yeah. And that's that. Yep. I'm for my ancestors. You beat that into us. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You're cursed. Look at your land. Oh man, I don't. No, they just tell me. I used to be at church people telling me that my people, like my Haitians, were cursed. That's why we're poor. We're cursed. We dedicated our country to the devil. You know what that dedication was? It was the revolution that killed all the white people, got us free.
They say your people are cursed.
We are
without
cursed.
Acknowledging
we are poor because we're cursed.
Did.
Because the pagans got together, had a pagan ritual to stir up some faith so they could fight the fight of their lives to have freedom as humans. Because the people who believed in God were raping and pillaging and beating us, and we're cursed now. That's why we're poor. That's why Haiti can't be. I'm like, shut. Have you looked around? If anyone's cursed, the West is.
Oh,
Let's go.
and we keep doing it to ourselves.
Come on now. Have you sat and taken in your culture? Like,
It's scary.
get out of. Anyway, I could. That's a whole other. That's a sermon for another time.
Yeah, because I have questions, but I think we're out of time. But
I mean, sure.
But speaking of that, like looking at our culture, there's so much rage and anger, and there's so much layers of oppression and like injustice. Like, how do you, like, even this past week, I had a lot of triggers, like, because men, and I was like full of rage, but it's not safe to express it. And I've never been able to. And I'm also terrified of my own rage.
Rage is good.
Yeah, see,
I had a season of rage.
This is what I want to talk to you about.
Oh, no, I raged. I left before I even left the base. I raged. Oh, my Twitter was a angry ass place for a while.
What were some things that were the most helpful in processing and honoring that rage?
I wasn't even thinking that deep.
Okay.
I was just saying shit.
Okay.
Oh, I was just being
using your voices.
I was just not filtering myself for the first time ever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. People were like, what does that mean? Why are you saying that? I'm like, and look, I don't think rage is useful. I don't think it is useful to be always angry.
Yeah, exhausting.
It's just also like not a useful emotion.
Yeah.
Long term.
It's protective. It moves you to action. However, it'll burn you out.
Anger is easy. When I was in acting class, they would say, I don't want anger. Give me disappointment. Give me hurt. Give me betrayed.
Sadness. It's sadness.
Give me, disillusioned.
Yeah.
Don't give me angry. Angry is easy. But for folks who come from places like us, I think it's important to own your rage for a while.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was an asshole about it. I'm sure I would look back to some things I said on Facebook or Twitter back then. I'd be like, I wouldn't say that without anymore. It lacked nuance. Okay, cool. But you know what? I gave nuance to everything, including my own abuse and manipulation for fucking years. So excuse me if I have a 6-month period where I'm lacking nuance. Do I need to always be put together? Huh? You get to be human and greedy and prideful. Forgive me. Forgive me. Also, at the time, I served a God who fashioned a whip. So,
kinky motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Anger is good. Anger teaches you what you care about. Anger teaches you how you feel.
Yeah.
Anger is information. Anger is not inherently bad.
Yeah.
And I think many more people some people need to fucking get past their anger and wonder why they're angry.
Yeah.
And that's also
the secondary emotion. What's the...
Oh, yeah. But I think a lot of folks could use some rage. Go punch a punching bag. Go.
Smash room.
Do whatever you used to do. Write some angry poetry.
Oh, poetry. I used to do that. That would be a good
listen to some Billy Talent. Oh, look, I have days. I have days.
Yeah.
Try honesty. Oh, yeah.
I've been into that. I don't like that emo shit.
I love that shit.
You love that shit? But lately, I've been playing the sad, angry songs.
Yo.
It's helpful.
I hate everything about love that shit.
Why?
Always have. Look, I need healthy ways. To get rid of anger. Particularly as someone who was socialized in a body where black, angry, and female are not allowed to exist together. So let's just say a lot of rage. Survive my world. No, I was saying fucking rage.
Yeah.
Don't hurt anybody, but rage.
I'm afraid to, but it's
just rage.
Even just talking about it, it's like good to
get somewhere safe and rage.
Yeah.
Don't filter. Just say you'd be surprised what you learn about yourself.
Yeah.
On that note, jeez.
How are you going to take care of your tender self today? Or this week?
Going to see a best specialist so to fix my freaking voice. These tonsils have been swollen for a year almost now.
Get some oxygen to that brain and body.
That's the hope. Hopefully I can get an appointment to get these tonsils out so I can sleep and breathe and eat and not choke on food.
Yeah.
That's a big way I'm taking care of myself this week.
That is huge.
Yeah.
May it be quick.
Same.
In our medical system.
I know. I'm going to a private clinic.
Oh, yes. Good.
Yeah,
Okay.
money.
Yeah.
Shout out to insurance.
Mm,
Yeah, I know, right?
nice.
Friggin' Ford. Anyway, how about you?
I think I had journaling. I think I'm gonna journal some more.
Ooh.
I keep the last few days. I had this like, I don't know if you'd call it a vision, but I don't know what to call it these days. And I was just like, oh. So I researched it. I was like, oh, that's cool. And like, I've just been having these like epiphanies and like moments and writing them down. Like,
Okay.
whoa, that's cool.
What's the number one thing you've pulled out this week?
I wish I wrote my journal. But it's funny because one of the visions was about rage. It was a praying mantis.
Okay.
And she bites her partner's head off, but he has a second brain. Anyways, it's really
You're trying
cool.
to kill your partner.
No, I'm like, this seems very violent,
Should
and I adore my partner.
I warn him?
Honestly, he's been a saving grace lately because I'm like, good
Well,
dude, supportive partner.
Saw him yesterday.
Gem. Yeah.
All right.
It's been good. Thank goodness. But yeah, I'm not gonna buy his head off. I enjoy his mind.
I quite enjoy him with the head on.
Yeah.
To be honest. Partial to that.
Yeah. Otherwise, it would just be weird.
We might have to fight.
Oh my god.
Cool.
So random. Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Journaling.
Well, have a good week, y'all. Rage, if you need to.
Rage Against the Machine. Shout out.
You know, I honestly just may you have a blessed week.
Yeah.
Week full of laughter
Yeah.
and anger if you need it.
Yeah. Whatever parts need
You know?
nurturing.
Find a song and just headbang and rage with with some angry white boys.
Yeah.
They're really good at that.
Yeah. Punch a pillow.
You know, get angsty.
Yeah. So angsty.
You know, have an orgasm.
Yeah.
Those are always good.
Yes.
Just be good. Be free, guys.
Be free. Ooh, be free.
Oh, that is.
Oh, it's a good song.
Bye.